Hey friends, today we are talking to Jennifer Oxley, the creator and executive producer of Wonder Pets in the City. Jennifer, thank you very much for your time today. I watched the original iteration of the show with my daughter when she was younger, so I enjoyed the show a lot. And then now with the new seasons on Apple TV, I mean, it feels like we haven't missed a step, even though the characters are different. But I really love the show. But for those that are not unfamiliar with Wonder Pets, could you give us just like the basis of the show, and then also why the characters were updated from the ones from before to the ones we have now?
Yeah. When I first got the call from Nickelodeon, they this is about the reboot. They said, would you be interested? I was shocked. I was like, I didn't expect that. I was freaking out a little bit because I was like, wait a minute, how can I reboot this and stay true to the like what was great about the original, but update it. And they had said, we really want, three brand new pets. We want a brand new location. But we still want to stay true to the core of the show. It's about teamwork. It's about these three classroom pets that live in a classroom. And when all the kids go home at the end of the day, they get calls from animals in need of help. And they spring to action. The music starts, and these little operettas begin. And it's music from start to finish. We Nickelodeon still wanted that, and I was glad to hear it. And they also still wanted to stay true to the original photo puppetry style. All of the animals that we feature, we either photograph ourselves or we outsource photos. So that was a treat to get to revisit that style, but update it for this new series. But ultimately, for the concept for this, reboot, I was like, what if our original pets, Linny, Tuck, and Ming Ming, that live in this red schoolhouse, this quintessential red schoolhouse in the country, what if they're not alone? What if there's this vast network of pets all over the planet? They could be under the sea, they could be in Japan, they could be in Canada. What if we get to hone in on this new group of pets that live in New York City? And they are living in a classroom, and same idea, they get calls, and it's not that Linny, Tuck, and Ming Ming have gone away. They're still getting their calls. We're just not telling those stories for this reboot. We're telling the story of Izzy, Tuck, and Ming Ming. So that sort of like resonated with folks, and they have their own way of traveling. They travel around in a jet car. They have their own way of receiving calls. They get them on this little like craft project that the kids made, this walkie phone. So that's sort of like the heart of how the series transformed from the original to this new reboot.
That's good to know that they're still around, because like
Yeah.
working in a school and knowing how like what happens to class pets every now and then, I'm like, oh, please let that not be what happened to them. But it's good to know that this is just a different school and they're still
It's
around.
a different school. It's like the same timeline.
Same universe.
And we actually wanted, maybe one day we'll get to do this, but we wanted to do sort of a pass the baton special episode where you actually get a chance to know this about the world, that there's other Wonder Pets pods all over, and that maybe our old Wonder Pets and our new Wonder Pets get a chance to meet up on a save.
Well, you kind of that's kind of one of the questions I wanted to ask you too, because I know in the original series there was the crossover event with like the Team Umizoomi characters, and then so for this one, I was wondering if there will ever be something like that. But now that you mentioned maybe they will meet the old Wonder Pets, but is there something that we might look forward to in the coming seasons?
I mean, we don't have any information about a new season. We're certainly hopeful that there might be one. But if there is one, that would be something that I would be excited to explore. But even if we can't do that, like I feel like there's so many more stories that we could tell, so many more animals to save, and so many, unique and fun worlds to go to.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot out there, especially because um, every episode. This is one thing I want to know is like there's all the animals that they rescue are not like just regular animals. You have like the red panda, you have like a meerkat, wallabies. Like these are animals that maybe not many kids are familiar with. So what is the process of choosing like which animal we're going to rescue this time, or how do you decide what animals you're going to go visit and rescue?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, we try not to repeat ourselves. So we try to, because there's so many animals out there. So why not get a chance to meet a different animal? Because kids love all the different animals that are out there in the world. So that was the first thing we tried not to repeat ourselves. And then it was really just like, picking animals and seeing what sparked, story wise, because ultimately, it's all about the character, it's all about the conflict and the predicament. So sometimes it really was that would crack a story. We had this white dove that we photographed because the animal wrangler just brought in a white dove one day. So I'm like, I'll just photograph this white dove because who knows, maybe we'll be able to tell a story. We couldn't figure it out. Like we could not find a story for this white dove. So if there is, so sometimes it does just because you have an animal that you want to save, you still have to figure out what the story is and what the conflict is and what the predicament is and what's going to make for a great episode. So for if there were a season 3, maybe we could crack that white dove story. A lot of writers tried.
But speaking of the crafting the story, and you talked about the musicality earlier. So from like the concept of the episode to like the finished product, like how long is that process?
Um, I mean, everything, the way we work is everything is staggered, so it's all sort of overlapped. So it's hard to sort of say from start to finish it's this long. But I will say like what is unique about our show is that we we kick off a script and write the script, and then we don't go to storyboard like a traditional show might. We go right to music because music is so important to the fabric of the series. So we kick off music and script. So the composer does a sing through where they sing all the lyrics and speak all the dialogue, and we lock it to time at that moment. And then it kicks off to storyboard. So then the storyboard team, the animators, everybody from that point forward are riffing on this amazing music and they're timing things to the beats of the music and they're getting inspired by it. So that's just a part of our process that I think is unique to the show and so important to the show because every episode is a mini operetta.
Well, Jennifer, I would just say that I enjoyed this season. I think the Halloween episode is one of my favorite ones. I mean, I just love the design of the scarecrow. Hopefully, we'll get a toy out of that or a stuffy. But thank you very much for your time today, friends, Wonder Pets in this city. As you could probably hear in the background, I'm in this. It's dismissal time,
Oh,
but definitely check it out. Apple TV, all 13 episodes when they release. So thank you very much for your time today, Jennifer.
great. Thanks for the great questions. And I
Uh,
love that you love the Halloween episode.
yes. Bye bye.